He folds the handkerchief again while sitting on the metal bench. It is already folded. Small. Square. Neat enough to rest unnoticed in the pocket of his shirt. Still, his fingers press along each edge, sharpening corners that do not need sharpening. The fabric bends quietly under his touch. A bus sighs somewhere in the distance. He does not look up. The shelter hums with a low, restless stillness. Wind moves through the open sides. A scheduled board rattles faintly above him. He places the handkerchief on his knee, then lifts it, then folds it once more, slower. The fabric does not resist. It has not changed. He keeps it in his shirt pocket. Left side. Always the left. He checks it without appearing to check it. A light press of his palm. A brief adjustment. People come and go. Shoes scrape. Doors fold open and close. Engines rise and fade. He stays seated. The handkerchief slips halfway out of his pocket. He pushes it back in, careful not to wrinkle it. The motion is small, controlled, as if something larger might spill out if he is not precise. He tells himself it is practical to carry one. The air is dusty. The bench is cold. A man should be prepared. He removes it again, holds it flat between both hands. For a moment, he almost unfolds it completely. Almost. Instead, he refolds it tighter, pressing down with his thumb along the seam. The stitching runs straight across. Nothing frayed. Nothing broken. A bus pulls in. The doors open. He does not move. When it leaves, the space fills with quiet again. He places the handkerchief back into his pocket and smooths the fabric over it, as if hiding something fragile. He has thought about leaving it on the bench. He has thought about dropping it into the trash near the pole, but it remains exactly where it is. Clean, white, unchanged. He sits there long after the next bus arrives. It would be easier if it were stained, but it is still white. He arrives at the bus stop earlier than necessary. Not once. Not occasionally. Every day. The bench is usually empty when he gets there. The air still carries the quiet before the first wave of movement. He sits in the same place. Third slat from the left. Close enough to the pole. Not too close to the edge. His hand moves to his shirt pocket before he settles fully. A light press. The handkerchief is there. He does not take it out immediately. He waits, watches the road without really focusing on it. Buses come according to a schedule posted above him, but he does not check the board anymore. He already knows the timing. He has memorized the gaps. When the first bus arrives, he stands. Not to board, just to stand. The doors open with a flat mechanical sound. People step down. Others step up. He looks at the ground near the tires, not at faces. His hand rests over the pocket again, as if steadying himself. Then the doors close. The bus leaves. He sits back down. Only then does he remove the handkerchief. He unfolds it halfway this time. Just once. The crease softens but does not disappear. He smooths it over his knee, pressing carefully, then folds it back into the same tight square. The fabric remains white, untouched by dust, though the wind carries plenty of it. This repeats. Another bus. Another rising engine. Another pause. He stands each time, never boarding, never signaling, just rising and sitting as if following instructions no one else hears. Some days, he holds the handkerchief longer. Other days, he only checks for its shape through the fabric of his shirt. Time moves in small intervals marked by doors opening and closing. He stays until the light shifts and the bench cools. He tells himself he is only passing time. But he always leaves after the same bus departs. One afternoon, he stands a second too late. The bus has already opened its doors. People move past him in a narrow line. Shoes step onto the pavement. A woman brushes against his shoulder. He does not shift. His hand is inside his pocket, fingers wrapped tightly around the folded handkerchief. He feels the corners press into his palm. The driver glances outward, waiting. He could step forward. The space is open. No one blocks him. The air between him and the door feels thin, almost fragile. He takes the handkerchief out instead, unfolds it once, then fully. The fabric opens into a small square of white that catches the dull afternoon light. There's nothing written on it. No mark. No stain. Only the faint memory of creases where it has been folded too many times. He stares at the center of it as if something might appear. The bus engine hums, impatient but steady. He presses the handkerchief to his lips for a brief second. Not to wipe. Not to cover. Just a touch. A small gesture. Almost private. He lowers it. The doors begin to close. He does not move toward them. Instead, he refolds the fabric quickly, less carefully than before. The corners do not meet perfectly this time. One edge sits slightly uneven. He notices. He fixes it. The bus pulls away. The wind left behind stirs his shirt lightly. He remains standing even after the street settles. For a moment, he sees it clearly, not the bus, not the road, but the pattern. The standing, the waiting, the rising at every arrival, the stillness at every departure. He slides the handkerchief back into his pocket. His fingers tremble once, then stop. He sits down again, slower than usual. The next day, he does not arrive as early. The bench is already half occupied when he gets there. He stands for a moment before choosing a space at the far end. Not his usual spot. Not the third slat from the left. His hand moves to his pocket-out habit. The handkerchief is still there. He does not take it out. A bus arrives. The doors open with the same flat sound. People step down. Others climb in. He stays seated. He does not stand this time. His shoulders remain still, though the rest of the shelter shifts with motion. The driver looks ahead, uninterested. The doors close. The bus leaves. He exhales slowly, as if something inside him expected more from that moment. His fingers finally pull the handkerchief free. He unfolds it only halfway. The crease down the center is softer now from yesterday's brief opening, but it still holds its shape. He smooths the fabric over his knee, then pauses. For the first time, he does not rush to fold it back. He lets it rest open in his hands. Another bus comes. He watches it arrive without rising. The space between him and the open doors feels different today. Not fragile, just distant, like something measured and accepted. The handkerchief remains white, unmarked. It has not absorbed anything from all these days of being held too tightly. He looks at it as if expecting to see evidence of what he has been carrying. There is none. The realization does not arrive loudly. It settles in small pieces. The buses were never waiting for him. The doors were never pausing on his behalf. He folds the handkerchief once. Not perfectly. He slips it back into his pocket without adjusting the edges. The bus departs. The shelter grows quiet again. He stays seated through the next arrival. Hope had been something he kept pressing flat, over and over, trying to keep it clean. Now it sits in his pocket, still white, and finally untouched. Not every opportunity disappears. Some simply do not return. Quietly, without warning. If you have ever thought, I should have acted then, this story may have reached you.